You know, I have a lot of young kids for students, and most of them play soccer. And when they come to me and say they want to learn to play golf, I say, well, you know, soccer and golf have a lot of things in common. You're really going to like golf because both games are played with the feet. And they don't understand what I'm talking about, but eventually they do, you know. So that's the way I start their thinking. And the synchronizer will make you, on the downswing, have a conscious effort of getting your body clear, generating the power with your lower body.
Because if they don't use their lower body,
yeah,
when they have the synchronizer on, they're going to run into it with their hands and arms. Is that correct?
That's right. I've had a lot of examples of that at the academy where I teach. One great example of that was I saw a gentleman there one day. He looked like he was maybe in his 50s, and he was hitting a driver, and his swing was very typical of the average recreational player. Very much upper body oriented swing, very little use of the legs. And I walked over and introduced myself to him, and he said he'd been playing golf about 25 years, and he was shot between 95 and 100. I noticed him hitting the drive out there. It was going maybe 180 yards and slicing a little bit. And he asked me, you know, what did I have in my hands? And I told him all about it, and I said, this is how you use it. So he wanted to try it. So I helped him put it on, and the first 3 or 4 swings, his arms ran right into the bar.
Right into the bar.
He just hit it with his hands and knocked it out of the way, but he hit it. And then I said, now you've got to use your feet and legs more.
You got to get your lower
You got to
body
get it cleared more, you know. So after 3 or 4 more swings, then he wasn't hitting the bar anymore. You know, his swing changed. I could see the action of the swing getting down into his legs, and the ball started flying a little better, a little longer, a little straighter. Well, he hit 8 or 10 more shots, and then he just stopped. And I'll never forget it. It seemed like a long time, but it was probably about 10 seconds. He just sort of stared at the floor a minute, like this. And then he said, you know, I've been playing golf 25 years, and today is the first time I've ever known what a golf swing is supposed to feel like.
So often you'll hear people say, well, you got to hit the inside of the golf ball. And typically when they're talking to recreational golfers. And as hard as they try, they cannot get to the inside or even to straight down the line of a golf ball. And it's because they, as you were just talking about, do everything with their upper bodies. They start the downswing with their upper body. Well, if you do that and you don't properly transfer your weight, you'll never get to the inside of the ball. But when you transfer your weight, and you were talking about the best players in the world do this, when you start the golf swing, the downswing with your lower body, it shallows everything out. Every athletic endeavor involves a great weight transfer. And if you transfer your weight, it shallows it out. If you're throwing a football, it's going to shallow it out. If you're going to hit a forehand in tennis, it's going to shallow it out. If you're going to make a golf swing, if you start this way, or even if you start the downswing this way, if you shallow out, if you transfer your weight, you're going to shallow out the swing. And then you're going to get to the inside of the golf ball because you're pulling everything. So when you start to look at and you hear about setup and grip and fundamentals and all that, that's essentially the frame of the golf swing. It's not unlike the frame of a car, which is beautiful to look at, but it doesn't work without an engine.
That's right.
And this is the engine.
Yeah.
It's your core is the engine.
Yes.
Your lower body, all that's the engine. That's what makes it work. That's what
right.
makes it go.
Yes.
The best players use it.
Yeah.
Recreational players don't have an engine, do they?
Not too much, no. No, if you can go to, if you know what you're looking for, you can go to any practice facility and look at 20 people hitting balls. And if you see one using their lower body as the swing engine of the swing, you're lucky. And if you see one, you'll see the ball flying usually a long way. People
spend a lot of money on golf clubs. They're $300, $400, $500, $600 for a golf club. They spend a lot of money on golf balls. And they even spend a lot of money on instruction.
That's right.
It can cost upwards of $300, $400, $500 for a golf lesson.
Yeah.
And all of those things are good and they're fun. But the synchronizer, is essentially around the cost of a dozen golf balls.
Yeah, it's just almost no money. It's incidental money, It fits easily into your golf bag. You won't even really know it's there. It weighs about a pound. You can take it out every time you practice, put it on, hit some shots, put it back in your bag, and go play golf. And it's just as good for pitching, for chipping, for bunker play, even for putting, used in a different way. You know, about keeping your body still and putting.
Right.
You know, the bar sticking, you know, out from your waist here is a very good way of telling whether you're moving your body or not when you're putting. You know, a lot of people think they're holding their body very still, but in fact they're not. And if you rotate your body putting, that bar is going to move a little.
Gives you a great point of reference.
You know, very much so.
What do you say when people say, "Well, Bill, I like it, but it looks funny"? You know, just putting it on is a little awkward.
Well, I really haven't had that problem.
No?
No one said that to me. I think they're more interested in getting better. You know, I think they just look at it as something to help them get better.
Well, the device itself, how difficult is it to put on? Is it something someone can do on their own, or do they need somebody to help them?
Oh yeah, it just takes a few seconds. It's just a belt you put around your waist with a Velcro closure on it. You know, anybody can put it on in 5 seconds. It comes in different sizes. It fits everybody.
And how hard is it for them to get a concept of, once they put it on, from the time they put it on until they understand that if they move their lower body, that everything falls into place? I mean, does it take days, weeks, months? How long does it take?
Oh, it just takes a few minutes, really, I think, till they get the feel of it. You know, now I think it's something you need to practice with as often as you can. You know, the golf swing is not like riding a bicycle. I mean, it's something you got to work at all the time. It's not an involuntary effort. It's very voluntary. And I think it's something you have to constantly train your body on. I guess that's why the professional players practice so much.